Hi, my name is Ed Thompson, CTO of Matillion, and today I want to take you through our latest release, version 1.29.9 of Matillion ETL. One of the highlighted features of this release is full HA and clustering support in Matillion ETL for Redshift and Matillion ETL for Snowflake. This means that customers can run multi-node topologies where this workload is distributed across multiple availability zones. In order to achieve this, we've provided a series of CloudFormation templates. I'd like to start by taking you through one of these CloudFormation templates for a full HA topology in detail. Let's explore the full HA topology of these CloudFormation templates. In a new or existing VPC, we create two new public subnets in two availability zones, and two private subnets. An instance of Matillion runs in each of the public subnets on an M4 large or extra large instance. Matillion's repository is externalized into a relational database service, RDS, in a master-slave configuration in the private subnets. This uses PostgreSQL. Your Redshift cluster is also set up in the private subnet. Matillion is clustered, meaning that services like Job Runner, Scheduler, and User Interface are cluster aware, and users access Matillion via an application load balancer. External services, such as S3, are accessed as normal. All logging from the cluster is pushed to CloudWatch. Finally, all the integrations are accessed as normal by Matillion ETL instances. This highly available shared nothing architecture will offer great reliability and performance for both production and other workloads. Now let's take a look at what's new in the Matillion product itself. First of all, we've got a series of new components. PayPal and Stripe allow you to connect to the popular payment management systems. The Jira component will allow you to connect and retrieve data from Jira's very popular project tracking tool. And now we can connect to ServiceNow, the popular business management platform. Finally, the email query will allow you to connect to any IMAP or SMTP server and retrieve a list of emails from an email inbox. Anyone who's familiar with working with components in Matillion ETL will be able to work with these components in exactly the same way. The properties are mostly common with other components. For example, on the Jira one here, we need the URL of the Jira service to connect to. The data sources that are available, such as issues, issue types, roles, users, etc. And of course, the columns from each of those issues. For those of you that want to make use of Redshift Spectrum, remember, of course, that you can choose your type here and set it to external. That will stage that data directly into S3 and create a Spectrum table definition for you directly. The Excel query component is not new, but you can now load Excel files both from S3 and from GCP as well. We've also got this new file editor, which is used in many different places in the tool, and allows us to navigate complicated directory structures, and also is much more responsive for customers with large numbers of S3 buckets and large amounts of data within them. A couple of other noteworthy enhancements on this version. On the environment panel, you can now drop a schema to make it easier to manage external schemas. We've also enhanced our OAuth configuration screen so you can set advanced configuration parameters directly against the connector. In this case, I'm using a Salesforce connector, and I could, for example, set the Use Sandbox property to allow me to connect directly to a Salesforce sandbox. For users of Matillion ETL for Amazon Redshift who are using Redshift Spectrum, we've added a few additions to our Spectrum support that was introduced with the last version of Matillion ETL. One enhancement is our full support for partitioning. In this example, what we have is an external table being created. And now when you create an external table, you can set the partitions. In this case, I've chosen to partition the data by year and month. These three components here allow me to iterate over a number of months, and this new component adds a partition for each iteration in every month. This means that as we build up partitions on a data set that's external in S3, we can build up that partition structure either in advance or as the data set grows. Let's go and look at what that looks like in S3. Here's the S3 bucket in which our partition data is being stored. You notice that the way the partitions are set up is we have a partition for every year, and then inside of the year we have a partition for every month, and then inside of the month we have a data file. Setting up your partitions in this way will give you much better performance when querying and aggregating external tables, particularly if you filter on the partition values or you aggregate on the partition values. Final thing to show you today is another new component for Redshift Spectrum. This is the external table output component. What we have here is a standard flow in Matillion with a filter and a join, and we have some data, some of which is coming from external Spectrum tables and some of which are coming from standard internal Redshift tables. In this instance, we output the data twice, once to a standard Redshift table and once using our new external table output component. The external table output component will write the data into S3. The format will be maintained so that the existing external table definition can be maintained. So that covers our new release, version 1.29.9. If you want more information, you can go to matillion.com, or you can always start a free trial from the AWS Marketplace. Thank you very much.